Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Matchday Menu. I'm your host, I'm Amy. My name from TikTok as AmyABFC. Each week I'll be visiting a different Premier League club and set of fans to discuss the juicy fixtures. Today I'm joined by Hannah and Justin, and I'm also joined by Alan, who owns this very swanky venue. We're at Patty Freaks in Lichfield. If you don't know, get to know. This is the menu. Alan, would you firstly like to talk us through what we've got in front of us?
Yeah, so this is my ideal matchday menu. This burger right in front of me is the Desperate Dan, a collaboration between Patty Freaks, myself and Tom Shepherd. We've put this together over the last couple of months to take on his Desperate Dan pie he put at the Great British menu. He actually won the main dish, so we've took the elements out of that and put it into a burger, and I think it's really fit in as he's a huge Villa fan. We're all Villa fans here. Here's my recommendation for the match day.
So what else have we got here? Talk me through.
Mac and cheese bites are always a massive winner. We've got some Cajun fries, a couple of different flavours of the strips.
Shall we? I'm all
Please.
salivating. That's so good. What's your usual match day meal? For me, chips and curry sauces goes unbeaten.
I'll always go for a pie.
Pie is definitely the way for me, yeah. Steak and kidney, steak and ale.
Quite like a Balti pie, actually.
Balti pie,
There's
yeah.
vinegar on the top as well. I've done that at Villa Park.
What?
I know it's something
But
like that.
it's bold.
Top off and eat the pie and then the crust after.
Skinny legend. Yeah, I like a dirty burger, I do. Like, you know, the really
The one
crap.
from the van.
Yeah, I like a crap burger. But, like, it's almost the nostalgia of it. Like, we can't compare it to one of these, you know, finely crafted
Top
things in front of
quality
us.
things, yeah.
But, like, yeah, it's just like the nostalgia of it.
Okay, so let's talk opening game. Let's go Villa versus Newcastle. It seems fitting.
When I think the mood around Newcastle with the fans is not positive, and going into a new season, I can only see that infiltrating on pitch as well. All the transfer saga with Isak, but also the fact that they've had a lot of their business infiltrated by other clubs, like they were obviously after Ekitike and a handful of other players, Trafford even. So I think their mood isn't going to be great. I also think we've had a decent pre-season. I think we've done really well to keep our squad together for the most part. Obviously, potential outgoings for the rest of the window, but I don't think there'll be anything major or like an overhaul at this point. So I think we'll have that steady sort of consistency going into the season that they won't have had. And obviously we thumped them last time at home. So.
Yeah, we do have the home advantage as well.
I think we win the game. Not because I always think we'll win the game, which I do, but I think we will win this one. I think Newcastle are in a bad position, bad place at the moment. Weirdly, I had a comment on one of my videos yesterday, and the chap said he knows somebody quite close to people at Newcastle, and he said the atmosphere is very low.
Really?
The place is on the floor, like what Hannah was saying. They haven't picked up any of their main targets. To lose a player like Isak when you've just qualified for the Champions League, you've got everything going for you, and your main player just wants out. It's a massive blow to them. But having said that, I was looking at the team. They'll still put a decent front three against us with Barnes
they've got a good team,
Elanga and Gordon will play up top, won't he? I think.
Probably, I think he's had a little bit of
So we've got to be careful.
a little bit of an injury. Absolute respect to Newcastle. I think they're an excellent team. I really rate Eddie Howe.
I think the mood is what will.
That's
do
what
it for us.
That's why I was kind of heavy emphasising on the mood. Start of the season, you want to have had a really good pre-season. The squad are feeling united. You've got a good mood around the club. They've kind of got the opposite of that.
But like maybe if they do pick up a result, hopefully not against us, but a little bit of momentum
But
like
it's
that
wi-
goes a long way. And
it's wi-
transfer window is still open.
Yeah, but I think it's weird. When the fixtures came out, we all went, oh, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking, it's a tough one to stop. Now we're going, oh, fair enough. We'll take them on there. Good time to play them.
Also, Ramsey's heavily linked with Newcastle. What's our thoughts on that?
Yeah.
I was told early in the summer that he would be one of the players that Villa would be prepared to sell.
He's pure profit. Like realistically, he's pure profit. As much, I don't really want Ramsey to
No,
go.
I don't.
I think he would be a very good utility player for us this season. But what I do think is that he's pure profit in a time where we're really struggling in terms of balancing our books. I think he's sort of a player that you can see going. What I don't like about that deal is that it's going to a direct rival. Like you're selling to a club that we're potentially going to be fighting against Champions League.
You can't take away the fact he's incredibly talented. I think the only
Got a high
thing
level,
is,
yeah.
do we need him?
He hasn't added a lot. If you look at pure statistical over the last 5 seasons, his output has been pretty poor.
He's had
Honestly,
a few injuries.
He has. He's
Yeah,
had.
he's been injury ridden.
from that European thing. He has, and there's now this seems to be going public standoff over the contract, which again, I had a little sneak earlier. Somebody said that he wants a bigger contract. The club are sticking to their guns of what they've offered him, and he will basically, I think that's why he's sided out, trying to get their side out. Villa are now using their contacts to get their side of the story out. I just think it could get a little bit messy. At the moment, I'm leaning more towards he'll probably go.
If he wasn't homegrown, would you be as bothered?
I think you've got to put that kind of thought out of the question, haven't you? Unai Emery won't be thinking, oh, he's a homegrown player, came to the academy. He'll be looking at it, I would imagine, the way you have to look at it, dispassionately, that what does he bring to my team? Is he a player we could cope without? And is there one or two players with that money we could bring in and make the squad better? And I think
I agree that he goes.
Yeah, that's the only
That's a
reason.
fan mentality as well. My initial thought is, we can't lose one of our own, but it's a business at the end of the day.
I've learned it even as my Villa lifetime has progressed. It's like the sentimentality around players. For me, it was probably Grealish.
Yeah, it was. It was for me. I'm a lot older than you.
You kind of realise that the loyalty goes a certain way, but there's no time to be sentimental. I think you're totally right, Alan, that if he was like a Bailey, everyone would be like, yeah, I'll sell him. It's the sentimentality around. He's one of our own. Yeah. You know, he's been at the club for a long time, and he's one of our only academy graduates of the last 10 years after Grealish. Like, we've not had anyone else break through to the first team, so he'll be missed in that sense. But yeah, if it's a deal that needs to be done, then it'll be done.
It always becomes a bit controversial discussing Jack Grealish, I think, but as we're talking about,
I think it's valid.
Let's do it. I actually didn't blame Grealish for going, because if he was at the club since he was literally a kid. He got us promoted, he did everything he could. You've got to think about your career. At Villa at the time, he didn't have the opportunities that City gave him. In a career-based mentality, he had to go for, he still loves Villa, that's still his club, but he had to be selfish and do what he could for his club. Would you choose not to get promotion at work in the future?
I totally agree. I've genuinely always had that position of he's a footballer who's getting £100 million transfer fee. He was going to be on 300 grand a week. He was going to get everything he could possibly want in his career sense. He was going to have a lovely lifestyle. Why would he say no? I'm sorry, if you think a footballer is going to just stay at his club because, I just love it, you are naive. I think it's just the fact of the game. You are absolutely right. Put it in any other context.
Any work environment.
Any other working environment.
No, I don't think he was.
He wanted to win something.
That was a bonus.
And let's be honest, I'm sorry, it's awful for all of us, but if he stayed at Villa, he would still have no trophies. So,
facts, yeah. He would have had more game time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3-1 Villa.
Oh, okay. Do you know what I want Saturday? More than anything, clean sheet. I would snatch your hands off for a 1-0, you know. That clean sheet would be magnificent because it starts you off on a good footing, doesn't it, at the back? And that's where all the question marks are, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we've actually got a decent first 6 fixtures. If you get through that unscathed, 3 points. I mean, a clean sheet's a bonus, but 3 points on the board going into those fixtures, I think immediately that buzz is there.
Right, I'm going to move on to the fixtures. We'll probably get through them fairly quickly. So, Brighton, Fulham.
Boring.
Yeah, it's got boring written all over it, hasn't it, that?
I don't know.
I think it sounds boring, but are we discrediting both of those teams then?
No, I think Brighton, I actually am really intrigued to see how they do this season. Their recruitment, I've said this sort of on other podcasts, they've sort of gone back to their model of recruiting semi-unknowns, and that clearly has worked so well for them in the last, 10 years, where they're able to sort of build this talent and then sell on for a huge fee. They've done really well. They've just sold João Pedro for a good fee. I think let's see how they sort of adapt to that. Are these going to be the next sort of stars? I think Brighton versus Fulham, though, doesn't scream excitement to me on the opening day. I would probably say a draw.
I think Fulham are probably the most boring team in the Premier League.
That's some rage.
Is that harsh?
That is rage bait.
I wasn't slagging them off. I just think, could you tell me who they signed this summer? Or they sold?
One or two who we signed, We've had a quiet summer.
They're a very...
Just to play devil's advocate.
No. I'm going to say 0-0.
I'm going with a draw. I don't know what it will be. I think
1-1, something like that.
I think Brighton.
Home advantage.
Let's go 2-0 Brighton for me.
Okay.
I think they're the better team on paper. Sunderland, West Ham.
Sunderland are going to win.
Yeah.
I think so as well.
Yeah. West Ham, why?
The mood around Sunderland is electric. Mood around West Ham stinks.
I think he'll be the first manager sacked, are they?
It very much could be, and I remember it could have been when Brentford got promoted. I can't remember. I remember there was a first game of the season. I think they played Arsenal and they blew them away and they were brilliant. I remember the atmosphere in the crowd watching it on telly was brilliant, and I can see a similar thing where
They've made some very good signings as well.
yeah, and they've got experienced like players that have come in as well as obviously like a
Xhaka was a
few
great signing.
unproven, but yeah, the Xhaka signing I think is great for them.
I like Sunderland as a team. I like the fact that they're going to have the derby with Newcastle.
Do you think they can stay up?
I have a good feeling about them this
At the
year,
three,
yeah.
you think they've got a better chance out of the three?
Yeah, I probably would back them. I think they're still going to be in the relegation battle.
Yeah, I think they'll be down there. But you know what? I think Burnley have got a bit of a sneak idea.
I've predicted that all three of the promoted teams are going to go back down.
All three.
Yeah, it's just really, really difficult.
Yeah.
For me, the only people that can potentially sort of interchange are maybe Brentford and potentially Wolves because of losing players.
I've predicted Wolves again.
Losing players. Brentford have lost the manager. But, I mean, I'd love for a club to stay up like Sunderland. They're a huge club. So I'm backing them to win the first game.
I'll move on. Spurs, Burnley. I mean, Spurs were terrible last year.
They were.
Yeah, they were bad.
I think
But that's because they did pour all of their effort into that cup. But to be fair, that final was bad between them and United.
And Son as well. Son's
Yeah.
well.
They've lost Maddison as well for the season, which is obviously, I mean, he's always injured, but it's a blow for them.
I'd still say Spurs. I don't believe they can be as bad this season.
No, I don't. I think they can only improve.
I think they're a funny team this year, and they're going to be so hard to predict. It's going to be interesting to see after 10 games where they are.
I don't think they're
yeah.
the top six.
Well, I
Them
don't
or
think-
United are going to have a run, aren't
Quality,
they?
proven quality.
But we thought that last year. They had a lot of quality in the side last year.
New manager.
No, I mean in the other teams.
Oh, they've gone for a couple of players today. Savinho, somebody else. They're
They're after
today.
Eze.
Eze.
He's a great player.
If they get him
Yeah.
and Savinho, Burnley my dark horses next
It's
season,
gonna
I
be a
think.
draw. Well, I don't really look further down in the Premier League. I'm a busy girl, which has been terrible. Burnley have always been that team that will grind out results, and they've always been defensive. Are they still like that? I don't know a lot about.
Last season,
Burnley.
they broke a record for like not
Most,
conceding
like,
more than
clean
one
sheets,
goal, most clean sheets. They
Was
had
it
James
record
Trafford, who's
ma-
gone to Man
yeah.
City now in goal. So that was I think he was like very, very good for them. So he will be a loss. They've added like Carl Walker, who I mean
it's
he
a
might be
good
losing
signing,
his
that.
legs, but he's a very good for a club like Burnley who.
A couple of Chelsea players they've signed.
Yeah.
Dressing room.
Have they got
experience.
Brozier?
Brozier, yeah.
So I think they've signed well. I really think they've signed well, but I think Spurs will win that game.
I think that could be the shock of the weekend.
Yeah, I think it'll be a draw.
I'll take a draw, yeah. Okay.
Like, given everything you've just told me about Burnley, I don't know who's going to get relegated. My crazy prediction: Man United to get relegated this year. That's what I actually believe.
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
believe it.
I would love it.
I think United are going to be the team more so to have a resurgence because of their recruitment. United have spent lots of money for lots of years. I just feel like something has to change at some point. It's Man United. Like it just, unfortunately, as annoying as it is, they are still one of the biggest clubs in the world. Particularly love Cunha, and I think they've done really well to sign him. So I think they're going to have a resurgence. However, against Arsenal this weekend, I don't
Is it
see.
Man United Arsenal, is it?
Yeah, I don't see that being enough.
Is it at Arsenal?
No,
That's
at
at
Old
Old
Trafford.
Sounds like a boring game. That does.
So it's got 0-0 written all over it, or 1-1, hasn't it?
Man United as a club, they're rotten to the core.
Yeah.
Even if they were to come back, I don't think it'd be anytime soon. So many layers to it. It's been going on for so long.
What annoys me about current United is they spent all this money on them players and they're firing people left, right and centre.
Yeah.
I said that to a United fan in line, but you fired like 100 of your like most loyal staff, like from tea ladies to people that are cleaning. And he just went, oh, it's totally different. It doesn't count.
It does
Sorry.
stink. I think Ratcliffe has come in and has had to really has clearly radicalised a lot of stuff, and I do think change will come because of that. I think.
But I honestly don't think them three players up front are gonna. I just think they haven't done enough. I think the back five are poor. They haven't changed the keeper. He's woeful. The midfield's getting older, and they haven't addressed that. Well, great, you got three half-decent forwards, but two of them have come from mid to lower teams that have been the best player at that club, and now they're going to a club where they've got to do it. You're a £50 million player now. Go and score me 20 goals and have 10 assists. and play in front of 70,000 people.
There's a lot of pressure.
There's a lot of pressure.
At United,
Hoyland
Yeah.
went. Don't forget, Hoyland went there 3 years ago. 85 million. It was being talked about as equivalent to Haaland when he went there. Totally disappeared. And they're doing the same with Sesko.
I think that is the tricky thing with United. Is I think what they've needed is the likes of like a Watkins or an Isak. I'm not saying Watkins is quite as good as Isak, but in terms of proven goal scorer. Because they kind of did that with Hoyland, and they wanted him to just hit the ground running, and he didn't. He needed nurturing, and it just wasn't going to work.
But they've tried every angle, haven't they? They had Ronaldo back because he was the experienced player ahead. That didn't work. They went down the young players route. They throw money at it. That hasn't worked.
I mean, look at what happened to Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, disgusting.
A player that talented can't perform at his boyhood club. It says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
United Arsenal score prediction there. At
1-1.
Old Trafford.
I don't know. After what you said, Alan, I think those games, Super Sunday,
yeah.
they're always boring.
I'll be shocked if it's any more than 1-1.
Let's say 1-1, yeah.
I was going to go like 3-0.
I hope Arsenal lose just because I like seeing Arteta after the game, moaning,
I used to
blaming
have a
everyone
huge
else.
soft spot for Arsenal.
What?
So I used to
Really?
be a big
That's the
Thierry
first
Henry
I've ever
fan.
heard. Thierry Henry, what a legend.
But probably the two most disliked clubs.
Because of the manager. They haven't won anything because of Arteta. The bloke's an idiot. Sorry. Can't stand him.
Do you know, we're talking about Arteta, I do think he's done, obviously they've bottled a lot of things, but they've done well.
I think it depends how you measure success.
But
But on TikTok shop.
I love a TikTok shop.
Anything.
Yeah,
In
so
a
you
long
got-
time.
so-
No, but
We've been
Arsenal's
doing well.
expectations.
But the teams they're up against are top as well.
Yeah, I think historically, recently, over the last 20
They've
years,
been against
probably.
a generational,
Yeah,
successful
yeah.
Pep team, and now obviously Liverpool are back to
Resurgent,
their
yeah.
back to their best. So
Maybe I'm
I
being a bit
don't know.
harsh. If they hadn't got him as manager, I'd probably be more open to their success, but I'm glad they wouldn't have.
A player to manager that just because of their name they've got in and they're actually not that good. I thought it'd be
Yeah.
like that. He's actually proven that
yeah, he
can.
will have a long career in management.
Yeah, I think he's good, but they do need to win something, and I hope that they don't.
Yeah,
So I'm going 3-0. You guys are going to be a draw.
Draw.
Okay. Wolves, Man City.
City.
Win.
Got me City. I think.
You'd think
Wolves are in
actually,
trouble.
Well, I think Wolves are in trouble. And again, it's going to be like, come across bias, but genuinely, I don't know if they've signed anyone. They might have
They've
done.
signed that Arias, the Brazilian player.
Right.
It's supposed to be all right. And to be fair, they always find one of them players, don't they? You
They
think
do.
they've lost
They
him.
get a gem.
Cunha come from nowhere, didn't they?
Yeah, they get a gem, and I think the manager. You know what? The manager is decent. So if they do anything, it'll be because of him. But City this season will be far better than they were last year.
Yeah, I'm totally the opposite with Wolves. I can't stand the club, but I like the manager.
I actually have a soft spot for Wolves as a Villa fan. I want to beat them. They're an enemy, but I mean,
Pardon?
the Nuno.
That just shows you don't live where I live.
No, I mean I.
Prime Wolves
I
territory.
grew up in a Birmingham City, so I just hate the Wolves.
Oh, right.
And West Brom and Wolves think that they're actually competition to us.
Yeah,
I don't even see
it's a
them as
joke
that.
rivalry. I think
Yeah.
it's nothing. So
Provided they're not beating us, I'm quite happy. So we're all in agreement that would be City.
They're going to get a
Probably-
good tater in.
Do you reckon Wolves will score?
No,
Nah, me neither. Me neither. I'm going to go, I don't know, 4-0 City.
4-0.
I'm saying maybe 2 or 3. Yeah.
Chelsea Palace. That's an interesting one, actually.
It is, yeah.
All the Chelsea fans are saying they are going to be. They've won that bollocks trophy.
Yeah.
They've won that trophy. I mean,
Yeah.
would you care to win that?
Nope. I never watched a minute of
We
it.
haven't won anything.
I didn't watch any of it.
The minute I saw on social media that I was introducing the players individually, one by one before the game, I just went,
It
nope.
was the most American thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Since the
I did
beginning.
see the pre-match show or the halftime show on the final. I think it. Listen, if Villa were in it, you would watch it.
Nope.
You would.
Oh,
wouldn't.
you would.
You would watch it.
I'd watch
You
it.
would. I can't stand it. I don't like anything it stands for. If Villa are in it, unfortunately, I'm going to watch it.
Honestly, I don't think I would.
That being
Why,
said,
of course you would. You'd be
Honestly.
talking about it. You're on your podcast.
that being said, I mean, they beat PSG at the end of a PSG, brilliant campaign. PSG were probably knackered. I don't know. I think Chelsea, however, will be one to watch this season. I think they're going to be much improved. We saw it towards the back end of last season. They kind of were ironing out some creases. They've obviously gone on and got silverware. I think they'll be good. I think Palace are a really interesting one. Palace have got all the momentum in the world. Palace should be one of the most confident teams in the league. However, if they're about to lose
Gueye.
Eze and Gueye,
Yeah.
that could completely blow
Derail them,
things.
I don't know what they
apart.
would be actually.
And the UEFA decision about obviously they will be playing in the Conference League.
I was so happy about that.
We don't have to play them.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Chelsea season, it just proves if you throw enough shit at something, eventually something will stick. And they've signed that many players that eventually they're going to find an 11, aren't they?
I think a lot of people look at that, especially at Stamford Bridge, and probably say Chelsea are going to beat them. Probably.
I think that's going to be a very,
I think Chelsea
very
will
interesting
sneak
game.
it.
I think
It's
I can
like
see
Hannah says, if them
Chelsea
two
win,
go as
but
well.
Depends what happens between, the start of the season. If Hetay goes, if Gay goes, I don't know if that will happen. But I think Palace will give them a really good game.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to play Palace. That's Chelsea. I wouldn't want to play Palace right now.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic manager, and I'm surprised nobody's took a punt on him.
Yeah.
Maybe this year.
Yeah, I think if somebody gets the boot, then that could go for him.
Nottingham Forest, Brentford.
Very intriguing games, all these, aren't they? Because you look at the narratives of all these clubs going into it. Forest are another one, haven't they? They haven't massively built. They've lost a Langer.
They kept Gibbs White when
that
he
was a
was
good
about
call.
to go. Weird dynamic, weird juju.
But I don't see Wood doing what he did last year, and I don't see them getting away with what they got away with last year. Nobody can sustain 30% possession and winning 1-0 every week.
I think a little bit. We were definitely good last season, but there was an element after Emery came in where you thought in some games we'd been sussed out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that will happen with Forest this season. That people will have, managers will have, examined them over the summer and be kind of looking at their play style and maybe have figured it out a little bit. And like you say, not massively added. Again, haven't lost too many. They've obviously lost the Langer.
But he was critical to them, wasn't he? I mean, their MO was soak pressure up, hit you on the break. Langer was their outlet, wasn't he? And now he's gone. So.
Would you say they had a bit of a fluky season?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm quite happy to say that.
Maybe. I think overachieve is.
But I think fluky's the right. I'm not 100% fluky, but they got lucky in a lot of games last season. Against us, we won 1-0 nearly 90th minute. They beat us. I walked out of.
Those are the games that just
Yeah, but that wasn't luck. That was our own making.
Maybe, but
because if we did it to them, you wouldn't say.
But I walked out and I walked behind two
result.
Forest fans, and they were like, "I think we can win the league this season." I was like, "Is he serious? What he just said?" Because they kept winning like 1-0, 2-1.
After Leicester, I say never.
Yeah.
And they were pretty much in third or fourth, like 80%
Yeah.
of the season. They
Till the
were
end.
really,
but
really.
they dropped off at the end. That's
They
why I
dropped
think
off
that's
at
going
the
to
end,
happen now.
yeah.
That's good.
They've got enough to do Brentford.
Forest.
Yeah.
I think
home, they're strong at
they'll do
home as well,
Brentford,
aren't
yeah. They'll do Brentford. They've
And
obviously
Brentford
got
have been raided as well.
Forest have got to deal with Europe, so that'll be interesting to see how they manage that. But yeah, Brentford are going to struggle this season, and if they don't,
Waymo, the manager, Wissa, I mean,
goalkeeper, midfielder.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've forgotten the names. off the top of my head.
Norgard.
Yeah, they're gonna miss those.
And who's the manager now?
Was he their youth or their
Yeah.
set piece coach?
Set piece coach, yeah.
Which, imagine if we had
But
Austin
Apparently
McPhee.
he's brilliant.
But everybody expected the assistant coach, which is what they've done the last 3 appointments, is just promoted the assistant coach, which is what they did when Smith left and they brought Thomas Frankel.
Yeah.
And they basically bypassed the assistant and gone straight to him.
But apparently it was a really good decision.
Apparently
So-and-so
he's-
is really
yeah.
He's
talented.
very
Apparently it's good.
articulate, and he was on Sky quite a lot at one point doing, the Sky
his name
stuff.
again? Should we put some respect on
Don't tell me. It's the Irish guy. It's curly hair. Looks like Al.
Oh, Keith Andrews.
Keith Andrews, ex-Wolves midfielder. He'll either sink or swim early.
Yeah.
The Sunday game, that one.
Basically, as long as the ball's out of play loads, it'll be all
He'll
right.
be fine, yeah. He'll be great on set plays. Get the ball out, lads.
So final one, Leeds versus Everton.
Leeds, dirty Leeds.
Everton are going to be really good this season.
I'm backing Everton to have a strong season, especially now they've signed Grealish, and that's great for them.
I think it's a great sign.
Again, the coach, he's got them ticking.
Okay.
Ellen Road, first game of the season. What a ground! I mean,
I've been to Leeds away a few times actually.
that they've got some fan base,
Their
and
fans are
I think.
Very passionate.
So I do think home advantage there could work in Leeds' favour, but I don't think they've added enough this summer to survive. And I think Everton have recruited quite well, and the manager will really steady the ship this season. And they've got a new ground, so obviously they're away this weekend, but once they're in their new ground, I think they'll have a little bit of excitement around that. I think all these little things do play into the broader feel around the club and how things go on pitch as well.
I agree. I think people sometimes say, like, why does that matter? Well, it does.
It does, yeah. I think the Moyes appointment was brilliant. I think, you know, going back somewhere is very difficult, isn't it? Especially when you've had the success he had the first time round.
Oh, fantastic.
But he went in at a really difficult time, steadied the ship. I think he was trusted immediately by the fan base as well as the players, and I think he got a tune out of players that they'd just almost forgotten about, hadn't they? So I think, yeah, recruited well. New stadium. We were saying about Newcastle being on the floor. Everton fans are through the roof. Their expectation was just going high.
Yeah,
So,
I really think that's a fantastic signing.
I think Moyes would just say to him, go and play, Jack.
Do what you do best.
Go and play.
That's what
Yeah.
he means.
What do you want? How do you want me to fit you in this team? How do I get the best out of you? Which is what any manager should say to a player like Jack.
Yeah, and they've tightened things up at the back. I think Tarkowski's renewed his contract, which is good for them. So I think Everton will have a good season.
Yeah, I think
that
they will.
game is really tough. I think Ellen Road.
Yeah, I do think the home advantage, and I do think
Could be a draw.
there's a certain buzz
I
when you
think
get
I
promoted.
think Everton win.
Yeah, I think Everton are going to be right up for
Yeah,
that.
I
I
do.
think Everton are going to be good this season.
I'm going to sit on the fence with that one purely because it's just Leeds.
I've got Everton
But
top
it's
10 this
over it.
season.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think I'm leaning towards Everton.
Yeah.
I think Ellen Road.
3 Everton and 1 Leeds.
And a draw.
Oh, draw. Splinters.
Well, that concludes the fixtures. So this is the part where I beg everyone to like, subscribe, comment below. Also, I've got a shirt on that I want comments on. It says, can someone remind me what it says?
My blood type is football.
Yeah, that's jokes.
Is that the
If
right
you don't
spelling?
think so, let's have an argument in the comments
Thought
about
I could-
it. This is Matchday menu. We're at Patty Freaks and we are in Lichfield
Nice
in the
one, eh?
Midlands. I've been joined today, just to remind you, by Alan, Justin and Hannah.
Woo!
And I've got a big editing job on my hands.
Another
Next week
producer,
it will be with some Spurs fans, which is super, super
Boo!
exciting.
Sorry.
If you feel you need to be commenting, get the traffic. Yeah, I think all I want to say is thank you, like, subscribe, and up the villa.
Not the Villa.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.